okay?
I kid you not, as soon as I turned on the camera, my heart just like immediately started beating really hard. But I'm going to deal with it because I have something to tell you guys.
I've been wanting to do this for a long time. I just felt like I couldn't.
I felt like it was my fault.
I needed to learn to love myself before I could expect other people to love me for that.
Why am I ashamed of who I am?
I'm not passing as anything, I'm being.
I'm about to tell my mom.
Kind of like freaking out right now.
We just wanted to like call in and tell you.
Because I'm tired of hiding. And I'm tired of lying by omission.
Dad, I'm gay.
It feels so good to say that.
You still love me? I still love you, Mom.
Nothing would stop me from loving you, my dear.
I love you, kid.
Love you too.
I felt nothing but support from the people around me.
Why should they be denied the right to share their life together?
You are voting for the first time in the history of our state to codify discrimination into our Constitution.
I hope you will stand on the right side of history.
My son is not an issue. He is a person, just like you.
It is time. It is time to give our loving gay and lesbian couples the right to a marriage license.
Ayes 33, nays 29.
It's the day I finally get to look at the man that I love and finally say, will you please marry me?
Every single American deserves to be treated equally in the eyes of the law and in the eyes of our society.
You look at both sides. I think there's blame on both sides, and I have no doubt about it, and you don't have any doubt about it either. And if you reported it accurately, you would say.
Kill the person. Heather hired
They showed up in Charlottesville to protest. Excuse me, they didn't put themselves down as you, and you had some very bad people in that group. But you also had people that were very fine people on both sides.
It's great to be straight, the straight pride.
The so-called Straight Pride Parade kicked off with a large Trump 2020 float.
I believe in what President Trump is doing for the country.
Even some watching assumed it was a political rally. This is a Straight Pride Parade. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that. It didn't make any difference.
Heterosexual nonsense has reached a new level.
USA! USA!
Dueling protests break out in Boston Saturday when a straight pride parade took to the streets.
All these protesters, it's their right, but it's my right to be here too.
And everybody has a voice, and no voice is suppressed. That's all. You know, about inclusion for all.
Some members of the parade arguing it's all about freedom of speech and exercising their rights, while others use the parade to speak out against the LGBTQ community.
They know that they've chosen that lifestyle. They were not created that way.
Literally standing next to a girl who's got a swastika on her left arm. She's flashing it as she walks through the crowd. And you tell me they don't stand with Nazis. Boston hates you!
But many protesters and LGBTQ groups say it's a thinly veiled attempt to spread hate.
There's people walking around with Nazi tattoos. It's just unbelievable that our country protects people that have Nazi beliefs.
Is this different than, say, white people celebrating whiteness?
White? There you go, right away. See, no. You went right to that. You said white. Why did you say white?
Parade organizer John Hugo says the critics of his rally are wrong.
There's only one race, I'll say it again, the human race.
Controversial former Breitbart news editor Milo Yiannopoulos served as the Grand Marshal.
Proud of you for coming today and having the bravery to live as open heterosexuals in today's hostile society.
Afterwards, he fired up a crowd at City Hall Plaza. Despite a handful of arrests, the demonstration was relatively peaceful. As thousands of protesters drowned out the marchers, hoping to counter their message.
There's more LGBT people here supporting the rally against this march than there are straight people.
My favorite press is a Republican because I can't walk around my city
with a MAGA hat on without getting harassed.
These messages met with fiery counter-protests as hundreds lined the streets of the parade route.
By attempting to organize a straight pride parade, people are just trying to make fun of and or ignore the very, very real and dangerous suppression that LGBTQ plus people have gone through.
This is full of hate and it's offensive. I think it's clear that there are more people who recognize that this is a ridiculous concept.
Several arrests made along the way. The parade ending at City Hall Plaza. Sky 7 over the scene as hundreds of counter-protesters gathered on Congress Street while the Straight Pride Parade team held a rally.
Are you happy with the way it turned out?
I don't know if I'm happy. I wish it didn't happen in the first place at all, but we'll see what happens. And again, I'll debrief with the commission.
Shocking video out of Washington State. It shows a 13-year-old boy being bullied by students. The teacher seems to be in on it all. And this morning, the boy's parents are speaking out, demanding action.
Keep his pants on!
The video, taken by fellow students on their cell phones, of a 13-year-old boy being dragged around the room, even having a sock stuffed in his mouth, is so disturbing, it's hard to imagine a fellow student didn't jump in to stop it. But what really outrages the boy's parents is that a teacher was there too, and they say he joined in.
When I drop my kids off, I'm dropping them off as a parent, handing my kids to a school that's going to take care of them.
The incident happened in a middle school near Tacoma, Washington in February, but is just now coming to light following a district investigation. At times in the video, which goes on for at least 15 minutes, it seems as if the boy is playing along.
Yeah, do that! Eric's doing that.
But a handful of students are also seen writing on his feet, even holding a pillow over his face and covering him with chairs. The teacher, 18-year veteran John Rossi, seemingly mugs for the phone cameras.
Hey, and by the way, I'm feeling kind of gassy.
Just said he wanted to kill himself, and the kids had blamed him for this popular teacher and the suspension that he received.
Rossi, who told ABC News he's not allowed to comment, wrote in a letter to investigators, "I can honestly say that at the time I did not believe that any of the children were at risk of harm during their interactions, nor did I view the incident as anything more than harmless childhood horseplay." Memos from the Peninsula School District say he avoided losing his job by accepting a 10-day suspension.
We took what we think is pretty significant disciplinary action.
The boy's parents say the entire matter has been made worse by the fact that Rossi is back at another school.
It was 1 year ago today we first heard about the boy with the violin, Tyler Clementi, the Rutgers student who jumped off a bridge after his dorm room encounter with another man was streamed online. His suicide led to a flurry of new awareness and new laws, but just this week there was another and new tragic case of a bullied gay teen taking his own life.
Moments ago, for the first time in U.S. history, the House of Representatives passed a landmark bill called the Equality Act. It would amend the Civil Rights Act to stop discrimination against LGBT Americans nationwide.
Right now, LGBT Americans are not fully protected from discrimination in 30 states. More Republicans actually voted for this bill than expected, 8 of them. But does this thing have any chance of passing the Senate? Because when I hear 8, I start to think, hey, that we could actually get some traction here, or they could.
Yeah, I don't think that this bill will make it through the Senate. There were only 3 Republican co-sponsors on the bill in the House, but it made it through the House. Democrats did not lose any Democrats on this vote. I think the Republicans were trying to break the party a little bit here, but they weren't able to do that. I don't see this bill going to the floor of the House because McConnell hasn't been really eager to do that, but we'll see.